Not because it didn't hurt, but because it didn't win.
To the door, the doctor went quiet and stared at the floor like hope didn't live in that room anymore. I remember the nights when the phone never rang, when friends disappeared and the promises changed. I smiled for the world while I came apart, with the war in my head and a weight on my heart. But somewhere beneath all the fear and the noise, God was still speaking in a barely heard voice. This chapter is brutal, but this isn't the end. You will stand here again and you'll help someone stand.
So I wrote down the day, I remember the pain.
Not to live there forever, but to see what it changed. This is the day the darkness lost, the day I learned what mercy cost. What tried to bury me became the ground where God reached in and pulled me out. Set another plate, leave the porch light on. Somebody else is fighting through the same long dawn. I remember the hurt, but it doesn't own my life. This is the day the darkness lost. Oh.
There was a bottle that promised to quiet the shame. There was a screen that kept calling my name. There was anger I carried from room into room, like everyone near me had something to prove.
There were voices that told me I'd never be free, that the worst thing I'd done was all I could be. But chains lose their power when truth enters in, and grace calls you more than the sum of your sin. Now the man in the mirror has scars in his eyes, but he isn't ashamed that he barely survived. Every wound is a doorway, every scar is a sign that the grave took its swing, but it couldn't take mine.
So I wrote down the day, I remember the night.
Not to worship the darkness, but to testify to the light. This is the day the darkness lost, the day I learned what mercy cost. What tried to bury me became the ground where God reached in and pulled me out. Set another plate, leave the porch light on. Somebody else is fighting through the same long dawn. I remember the hurt, but it doesn't own my life. This is the day the darkness lost.
Now watch for the ones sitting off by themselves, the ones saying I'm fine while they're living through hell. The father who's drowning but still goes to work, the woman who smiles while she hides where it hurts, the kid who got bullied and stopped raising his hand, the veteran awake while the whole household stands, the widow with silence on half of the bed, the man with rejection still stuck in his head. Bring them inside, let them know they belong. Give them some bread, give them part of your song. A victory means more when it opens your hand. The rescue become those who help others stand. We don't celebrate because the pain was small. We celebrate because it didn't take us all. We don't deny every tear that was cried. We testify that we're still alive. Write down the date when the chains finally broke. Write down the morning when your dead heart woke. Write down the call when the answer came through. Write down the moment God carried you. Then open the door, pull up a chair. Tell the forgotten there's room for them there. Turn your survival into someone else's prayer. Turn your testimony into hope for the desperate. away. Leave the porch light on, we'll keep telling the story. When the old fear is gone, we remember the darkness, but we carry the light. This is the day.
This is the day the darkness lost.
Save the date.
Tell the day.
Tell the story.
Tell the story.
Open the door.
Open the door.
You survive for more than your own survival.